Rachna and I'm back with a new lesson. Well, in today's lesson, we're going to learn about different phrases and expressions you use when you talk about driving. Well, I'm sure many a times you drive a car or you have sat in a chauffeur-driven car or probably traveling by a taxi, right? So there are certain phrases we use when we talk about driving, okay? Now, my first phrase here is pull out. Well, the other day I had this huge tiff with my colleagues and I was really mad, angry. I was like, I just left office, okay? And I got into my car and in the heat, in that anger, I just pulled out my car. Now, pull out means you remove your car from your parking space. Okay, you literally do not pull out your car, but it means that you move your car, you remove your car from your parking space. Now, pull is the verb, so when you put it in the past, you say, I pulled out my car, alright. So when I was angry and I left my office, I pulled out my car, so I removed my car from my parking space and I drove off. Now, when we say drove off, that means you drive away from a particular place or probably a person. Alright, now here you need to remember you always say drive off, O-F-F, and do not make this mistake of O-F. So it is drive off, okay. So I drove off. Again, drive is the verb. In the past, I'll say I drove off. So I drove off. Now because I was so angry, I was mad, my mood was really bad, I stepped on the accelerator. Now when I say step on, that means I really put my foot hard on the accelerator. Okay, so in that anger, I stepped on the accelerator. This is the verb step. So when you say it in the past, you say stepped on it. Okay, that's S-T-E-P-P-E-D. That's the past tense. I stepped on it. And yes, so I pulled out my car, I drove off and I stepped on the accelerator. And obviously, my car started speeding. Then I realized that the car ahead of me indicated. Now you all must be knowing in your car you have indicators. Those are those flashing lights which you use when you want to indicate to the person behind you that you're going to take a right turn or probably a left turn. So the person behind you is aware that you're going to change your direction either to the right or to the left. So remember friends, when you drive and you're changing your direction, do not forget to put on your indicator. So the guy driving ahead of me indicated at me that he was taking or he was turning to the left. So when he indicated, I realized, so I had to slow down my car, right, and give him a little place to change his direction. So I slowed down my car. Now down doesn't mean literally down. Slow down means you make your car go a little slower than the speed you are actually going at. Well, so remember, a lot of teenagers, when they're really speeding up, you always remember slow down. That means you make your car go slower than the speed it is moving at currently. So I slowed down my car. In the past tense, I slowed down. Alright, so because he indicated, I had to slow down. So I slowed down my car, and then after he changed his direction, I speeded up. Now speeded up means again I accelerated, so my car goes faster. So when you speed up, you always, it means that you make your car go faster. So when you're traveling by car or by cab and you want to tell your cab driver, hey listen, I'm getting late, so don't say faster, you say kindly speed up, or please speed up, I'm in a hurry. That means you want him to drive faster or make the cab go faster. Okay. Alright friends, let's see what happened next. Remember, bad day, ugly fight with my colleague. I was speeding. So I didn't realize when the signal turned red, it was time for me to stop. And it was too late by the time I realized. So I jumped the signal. Now jump the signal does not mean you actually jump, but it means you skip the signal or you break the signal. You're breaking the rules. You are driving even though there is a red sign and a stop sign. So I did not stop. As I was speeding, it was too late, so I jumped the signal. Alright, so jump is the verb. When I take it in the past, I'll say jumped the signal. Okay friends, obviously what's next? The day gets even worse. There I get pulled over. Now when I say get pulled over, that means the cops were behind me. They caught me, tracked me down and asked me to stop and fined me. That means they gave me a ticket. So well, get pulled over means you're stopped by the cops. Okay, so they gave me a ticket. Now gave me a ticket means they fined me. Obviously I broke the rule, so I have to pay a penalty. Well, the day just continued going bad and then I drove off, and then when I was speeding again, I suddenly slammed the brakes. Now when I say slam the brakes, that means you forcefully slam. The word slam means you forcefully or very harshly or hardly hit the brakes. So all of a sudden I forcefully slammed the brakes. Alright, now many times when you have a tiff with your girlfriend or with your wives, husband and wives, couples fight, and when they walk out of the room, you slam the door, right? So you just very harshly, rudely, forcefully or hardly just, close the door. So you say you slam the door, right? So I slammed the brakes. So in the past tense, I'm going to say I slammed the brakes, right? Now I'll tell you why I slammed the brakes. Because I realized that I was just about to meet with an accident. Okay, so to gain back my, my not senses, but to gain back my consciousness, to, be a little more alert, I pulled over my car. So when I pull over my car, it means you park your car or you take your car on the side. Okay, so remember, this is pull over. Okay, not pull over, but you just park your car at the side. So after I slammed the brakes, I slowly pulled over my car. Okay, now friends, please remember, this is get pulled over. That means you are actually caught by the cops, and this is pull over. Okay, they're two different things. So get pulled over is getting caught by the cops, and pull over is when you take your car to the side. So do not get confused. You always use this with get pulled over, and this is pull over. Alright. So I parked my car on the side, so I pulled my car over on the side. In the past tense, you say pulled. Okay, I took a deep breath and I realized I had a near miss. Now we say, oh God, yesterday I had a near miss. That means you were just about to meet with an accident, but luckily you got saved. So that means you say I had a near miss. So it means you came this close to an accident, but you got lucky, you didn't meet with one. So you had a near miss. So have is the verb. I'm going to say I had a near miss. Alright. Okay. So then I took a breather I relaxed and started my car again. Don't forget, it was a bad, horrible day, just getting worse if you see. And when I started driving, I was relaxed and calm. Another hit. Well, my car broke down suddenly. Well, my car broke down, that doesn't mean it broke down into pieces. That means it suddenly stopped in the middle of the road. Very embarrassing situation to be in. Well, so when your car stops in the middle of the road, probably there is a technical problem. That means your car has broken down. So my car broke down. Break is the verb. Putting it in the past, it becomes my car broke down. Well friends, that's how unlucky I got that day. So my car broke down. I had a lot of people who came over to help me, went to the garage, and I had to return home walking. Terrible day. So these are all the things that happened. Well, by the way, my journey from my office to my house was 15 minutes, but it took me 45 minutes because I crossed my speed limit, I jumped the signal, I got pulled over, I got a ticket and all the things, and then my car broke down finally. Well, so this is how unlucky I got. Okay, so friends, this brings me to the end of this lesson. These are the basic phrases that you could use when you talk about driving, probably things that happen to you when you're driving. Alright, I hope you enjoyed watching this lesson. Please do put in your comments and queries. Enjoy your driving, drive safely, don't get pulled over, and make sure you service your car regularly so it doesn't break down in the middle of the road. Alright friends, I'll be back soon with a new lesson. Till then, take care and bye.